name is John Marine. I'm a producer in the producer community, more specifically the Icy Twat type beat community. It's really interesting to be a producer in a type beat community because some people they're like, oh, you make type beats, you don't actually produce your own music. That's not necessarily true. It's just more of a starting point than a type beat type of continuation. It's really where you want to just start out by making sounds that are similar to other artists because you really don't know how to make sounds for your own self, not unless you're pretty experienced with music already. And for me, I had only been making music, let's see, before I started making beats, I'd only been taking piano lessons, not even making music, for about a year when I was a little kid. But I always was playing around on the guitar in my parents' house or playing around on the keyboard. I just didn't really know what I was doing until one day I heard, Icy Twat. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of better artists out there. And there are plenty of way more accomplished artists and artists that I like even more. But the thing about Icy Twat is when I heard his music, I was like, man, this sounds really good and complex and big and it's trap. I never really heard such a thing before. I knew trap to be like, doom, dun dun, boom, 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 humba back. That's what I thought trap was for forever, and I was just like, man, how did he do this? And I just was really getting into his music for like about a year and a half, 2 years, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, I think I can do this. I think if any genre I can make that would actually, be easy to make or get me somewhere, it would be trap. And I was like, all right, I want to make beats in the style of Icy Twat. So now, I did that in 2019 is when I made my first beats on GarageBand. And then nowadays I make beats on the software that you've seen, which is FL Studio 20.91 or something like that. It's a really updated version of FL Studio. And I made over 650 beats, or 630 I think, not 650 yet. I've definitely made over 600. And I just really love the whole beat making process. So what I'm gonna do right now in this video from this point on is teach you guys how to make beats in the style of Icy Twat. And I'm gonna do that by showing you this beat and how I made this beat, just talk about theory. And I'm not really gonna try to make this a tutorial like, oh my gosh, you need to follow these rules and use this and that. We're just gonna talk, man. Like, I'm just gonna talk to myself, and hopefully you guys will reciprocate, in the comments what you think about this video, and just pretend we're having a chat, man. And this beat right here is called Ultimate Lux. It was on a EP called Droplets of Serenity. First thing I want to say about making beats that are really wavy is make cool names. Like, don't make half-ass names like Sun or like Dog. Like, don't do simple things, or even like Pizza. Those were names that probably people would make like in shitpost type beats. That's my CPU for you. So we're gonna try to make it as minimal with the music as possible, and I'll do most of the talking. So let's see, I'll go to the channel rack. These are the instruments that I used in this beat. They all come from Purity and one from Electra X, and there are really lots of the same drum kit sounds that I use. We'll just go through my drum kits real fast. I'll just, what, forget the tutorial idea. I'm just going to show you what it's like to be me, man. I'm just going to be like, here, this is what I do. Here's the sounds that I use. Here's the drum kits you should get. And maybe we'll play this a little bit because this CPU sucks, man. Pisses me off, but it was gifted to me, so I can't really complain. The Dreamcast kit. You can get this from Trillist. Trillist is a producer who makes Icy Twat type beats. Or I don't even know if he still makes beats anymore, but he definitely has a video called Sea of Dreams preset kit. And you go on the YouTube video for that. You just look up Trillist with a $sign instead of an S, so TRILLE $T. And you go to Sea of Dreams from his channel. You click on the link and you can purchase Purity presets, and you can get this Dreamcast kit, and you get these kind of snares. You know, you probably hear this one all the time on music, like these claps down here, these 808s. Well, this one sounds like garbage. I wouldn't really recommend the Dreamcast kit for anything other than the Mexi, the Spins, and the Aqua 808s. Because this one uses this a lot, but I gotta stop thinking in like terms of what would Icy Twat do and more of what I would do, because I don't want to rip off nobody's sound, first of all, and second, not F Icy Twat, but it's me at the end of the day. I'm making this stuff, you know. But go to get this Produced by White Mayo drum kit. Just look that up, and this is a really good 808 right here. Just let it go. This is what I've been using recently. And when I do make the 808s, I put them in mono. Where the hell did I put my 808 in this song? Maybe this one? Yeah, so I mix it in mono, and for this 808 specifically, I had to add mid-end. You know, mid frequencies, not mid-end. It's either low end or high end, not mid-end. What the hell is that? I had to add the mid frequencies. I had to put a tape saturator for it. I'll show you where I got this from too in a bit. Airwindows.com, actually. Go to airwindows.com. I don't work for Airwindows. I don't work for White Mayo. I don't work for Trillist. But these are all things that I use because they're really simple and easy to use. Airwindows.com though, you can get 300 plus like free and easy to use mixing and mastering tools, I guess, or softwares, and they just look like knobs, and they do the job really effectively. Like here, if I go here and start playing with the 808, and I take this down, it sounds way different. It sounds like shit with the CPU, but now you can hear it. So a tape saturator, it just adds mid frequencies, but you have to add mid to your bass, man, or bass. You cannot add sub and expect it to sound good, or decrease mid or decrease bass and expect it to sound good, because most of the note playing is what you actually want to hear. You think you want a boomy 808, you want a boomy kick, you want actual note playing in the 808. You don't want to hear just like, you know, most of that comes from the kick. The 808 is what should be playing like the main notes, and even carrying a lot of rhythm in your song. You know, like I got this melody here, right? Oh yeah. I'm not the most organized person in general, but with music I'm pretty organized, just not like labeling. I don't like to label. So it just says pattern 1, pattern 8. You could change these by clicking here and, you know, edit pattern, renaming color. You can do that if you want, but I don't want to do any of that shit. So I got this melody playing, right? Where's I gonna go with this? Oh yeah. So with that melody playing, they say make a counter melody. When I think of counter melody, I mean something like is more like a complementary melody or complementary bass line. So if I have a bass playing, it should complement, not counter, the, you know, melody or the chords. So the 808 complements the chords, not the other way around. You know, you don't have like 808s countering a chord. That would sound like absolute crap. Now, you could play counter notes to it. So if I'm playing like an F, let's see, let's go to the piano roll. If I go here and I'm looking at pattern 1's piano roll, I go by the top note, because the top note is what you hear the most in most of the time when you're playing, you know, chords. You hear the top note. So when I mean by the top note, I mean the opposite of the root, which is A sharp, and then the top is C. So it's a major 9th chord. So I'll be playing this right here, C, and then I'll play an E 9th. But down here, I might be playing something totally different. I don't know if I am, but let's check it out. Let's see. Yeah, totally different. I started at C, but over here, I started with F. And these other little ghost notes, they're not actually ghost notes, they're just a kick. Make sure your kick is like tuned correctly, because even though it's a minimal sound, if you don't tune it, you can't really hear it. But yeah, so I figured that these F notes would complement the arrangement of the C note and the E note and how it all sounds like with the preset. So if the preset is flowing, I'll have a flowy bass, but they won't be the same notes, so that way it doesn't sound too boring. But if it's like a choppy kind of chord progression, you know, like dun dun dun, I'll have the bass be choppy too, just so that it complements each other. Or if I make them like contrast each other, I'll make them play the same note, so that way it's not too much of a contrast. And then we'll go back to the drum kits real fast. I know I'm jumping all over the place. I hope you guys have been paying attention, because these are a lot of the drum kits that I use over here on this side. The Dreamcast, I have my drum kits labeled into the drum kit tab. The White Mail is really good. This is a really underrated kit, the bonus mini. You don't want to do a lot of mixing, or even if you're a beginner, you don't know how to mix, is really what I'm saying. Use this one, because that's a really good kick off the rip. Oh, and I gotta take these effects off while I do this. There we go. Now that makes more sense. So that's what they really sound like. Let's go back over here. Yeah, that sounds like that. That sounds like that. Those are the bass sounds. You know, like once you start mixing things, it really sounds a lot better than the bass. Like not B-A-S-S bass, but the bass sound, the original sound. When you mix things and you just, you know, add effects, not like transition effects, but mixer effects, I guarantee you, if you EQ and use mixer effects, you will come up with a better sound than what the bass sound in a drum kit is, because you're adding to it. You're not subtracting, you're adding. Even if it is a subtracting measurement that you're doing, like an EQ going like this, you're still adding that EQ to it, so it's going to be shaped in the way that you want. So it's like you're sculpting something, you know, when you make music. Another great drum kit though, let's see. I don't really use this one. Well, I shouldn't say that, but too late now. It's just too lo-fi for me. It's like 90s style, which is cool. I like making J Dilla type beats, but I barely do that. And I'll use a J Dilla drum kit somewhere down here when I do make J Dilla drum kits. This 2019 808 Mafia, get this. Get it. That's all I'm going to say, because there's a lot in there. 2020 IC12 drum kit. Fantastic. It has this one in here. For the 808, it has... no, you don't want that. Yeah, this effect right here. It has that too. I don't really know what to call those things. They're just really kind of sound effects. You can't really label them. The Ghost drum kit I definitely use a lot. I use this 808 so much. This 808. All the snares, all the perks. The kicks I stay away from. The hi-hats, I use this one the most often. And the most actual often one that I use, like the one that I've been using before I got the Ghost kit, was IC12 one hat from the Dreamcast kit. Definitely get the Dreamcast kit. Let's go back to drum kits. I'll give you guys a sauce with the one-shots too, and all the VSTs in a second. Yeah, so Lord Fubu kits, these are hard to find. These are really hard to find, so if you need them, I'll give it to you for a reasonable price, like $5 or something. I'm not joking about that. Because they're that hard to find, dude. Unless you just maybe have a better Reddit, like, account than I do. Nav drum kit is really good for hats, like open hats. Drums, I guess. Yeah, drums too. I wouldn't use the bass, because the bass is kind of like, you know, like Drake, I guess. Yeah, these down here. These are the, like, I guess 2.9 bass or whatever. The plug and B kit is cool if you're trying to make like Mexico drill stuff. City drum kit, definitely recommend the City drum kit. It's actually worth it. The Memphis one, no, not at all. I'm gonna get shot for saying that. Kid from the suburbs gets shot for dissing Icy Twat drum kit. Breaking news. Oh, by the way, I'll give you guys a little bit of sauce here. That one vocal that Icy Twat always uses, I know we're not trying to be like him anymore, but still, this was a cold vocal.
Go!
It's right there. Vocals under Legacy when you open FL Studio. I'm going forever. I don't really know what the hell I'm doing, to be honest with you. I'm just going to post this video. I know it's probably going to get like maybe 100 to 200 views, so I don't really care. Here we go with all these legal one-shots. These are Twat's one-shots, man. They're really good. Twat's one-shots are pretty damn good. Like, especially One Shot Volume 1. Where the hell is it? Dude. Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah! I'll tell you, I use these three, like, in a lot of beats. Then he's got these voxes, or vocals, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, wait, where's that at? Well, chord that I use? No. Oh, it's not in here. Sorry. In the, one of his one-shots, I can't remember which one. I think it was One Shot Volume 3. Nope. One Shot Volume 2. He puts in a vocal kit, and I'll just show you some of the vocals that he has in there.
What? Hey.
I'm never using like the last two ones, but still. Yeah, this lounge lizard. Get this. I'm not gonna talk too much about these because I don't know if I should have these. Oh, these right here. The Stay Silent Suzuki can. Stay Silent is a cold ass producer, man. Yeah, you already know where this is from. Suzuki Ken, I don't really know too much about his music, but he's got some cool songs that I've heard before, and he's got some cool pads in here. Like, this is a cool one. These are all dope. I've used this one before. Other than that, I don't really use one shot. Oh, the 5 a.m. one shots. How could I forget about that? These are all on Trillis, by the way. You can get these on Trillis, his page again. And oh yeah, let's just go through a couple of them. Like, what's one that I've used? Yeah, Vasnovia. They're really beautiful pads in here, like amazing sounds. I got a song with this pad coming out soon. Check out this song. It's gonna be called Something. It's gonna be called Something featuring Moise. I might just call it Something. I'll see if he was on board with that, but I doubt it. Let's talk a little bit about mixing and mastering. Or actually, no. Let's go over to the VSTs, and then we'll talk about Mr. Master. Mixing and mastering. Free plugins. Dex. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Synth 1. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Get Dex, get Synth 1. Those are your free plugins. You're done. 80,000 sounds right there. 25,000 on this. 32,000 on that. Plus 30,000 more that I just made up. So really, it's more like 55,000 sounds. In terms of paid VSTs, I recommend for everybody that's trying to make mainstream music, Nexus. Expand, I don't know about Expand. I see people making music with Expand, and I don't know if I like their music. Or I don't know. That's not true. I don't like Expand for myself. I think it's cool for like Playboy Cardi, like hype beast type shit. Waystation is good for like analog old school sounds, like, you know, not Rhodes, but like Tyne keys and stuff like that. Old school synths. Synth 1 has everything because it's like a free plugin with 25,000 presets that you can download. Purity is the shit. Purity sounds like the future today. That's all I can really say about that. Like, there's so many presets in there that are ARPed out and pads and really cool keys. Electra X is good for arpeggios, like really good for making those like like that kind of stuff. FM8 is really good for experimental sounds, and so is Massive down here. M1 is like Waystation, but more old school than that, if you can believe that. I think M1 was made before the Wavestation in terms of like their analog. Lounge Lizard, I just have the trial version, so we're not going to talk about them because I don't know if I should have that. And then if you don't want to go out and download Dexed or Dext or whatever, Dexed, or the other one, Synth One. Just use Flex and use Citrus. Use Flex and use Citrus, and use Harmless, which is down here. Nope, it's up here. Harmless. You can sound design, synth design, or whatever in Harmless. Those are the plugins that I've really been using since I've been making good stuff. Other than that, yeah, Morphine. But Morphine I paid like $150 for. You don't need to do that. It's really not worth it. Mixing and mastering. Okay, let's just glance over this real fast, because I would love to make a tutorial, but this computer just can't handle it. If anybody has any suggestions on how to like make my CPU run faster, greatly appreciate it. If you would throw that down there in the comments today. Mix here. I won't even play any of this stuff, but the ones that are in mono, those are my drums. I mix my drums in mono. They just are centered. They sound crisp and clear. They don't have a lot of resonance, and you can really fiddle with them a lot. If you want them to like pan left and right though, you can't mix them in mono. You have to just do it in stereo. But try not to do stereo separation, just because it's kind of like a fake volume level. I don't know how to explain it, but like when you export it, you'll hear it less and less in the actual song than when you hear it in the mix process. It's like it plays out of two different speakers at once, so you think it'd be sounding louder, but it's like less powerful than my merged audio. I don't really know how it works. Well, I act like I do. So that's why I'm the good producer that I am today. EQ everything. EQ everything. Use effects that you know you should be using. Use blood overdrive. Always turn the color up because it makes it sound good. I don't know how. It affects the distortion, because blood overdrive is a distorter. Color is like the amount of distortion, and this is like how loud everything's gonna be at the end. Plus this too. The amount of distortion that's in it and the intensity of the distortion. There we go. Color is intensity. Crunchy Grooveware is from Air Windows. It's a exciter. It makes the high end sound really good. Soft Clipper, definitely use that. Tape saturation. Go to Patcher. Use Patcher for mid-side EQ. So side EQing is basically making the melody and everything that's coming out the side of the headphones sound good. And mid is like the bass and the kick and the drums. Use that to make that sound good. And then from there, you stereoize it with Stereo FX or Ozone Imager or even Fruity Stereo Enhancer or whatever. Then you play your music, and being a producer, man, like, I'm gonna wrap this video up right around here. I know it's kind of a random ass video, but I just wanted to talk to you guys and see what you guys think about, how being a producer is, and whatever it is you want to throw in the comments. Just communicate with my fans, And being a producer is really like rewarding up here and what you see on the screen. Money wise, not really. But then again, I don't really put a lot of effort into selling these. I just put produced by John or prod by John Marine at gmail.com for inquiries with a little damn like entered space in between for inquiries, and produced by John Marine at gmail.com. It's funny. I noticed that I do that every video. But, ain't shit free, man. I'm sorry. Nothing's free in life unless, you got some air in front of you. Man. Being a producer is really rewarding in your head, though. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I just appreciate the time that you give into this video, both with your ears and your eyes and whatever other senses you may have used. Maybe you can feel the music or whatever. And just do what the hell you want now. Have a good day.